Hello, I'm Tao, and today I will be presenting on the metabolic differences between prepubertal children and adults during high-intensity exercise. And the first part is background, and in exercise science, it is well documented that children show lower anaerobic performance both in absolute terms and when normalized to body weight compared to adults. However, a fascinating paradox exists, which is children actually experience less fatigue during dynamic, intense exercise and recover much faster afterward. So this brings us to a significant gap in our current knowledge, and the rationale for this study is the unique exercise physiology of children and root cause for both their lower anaerobic performance and their superior fatigue resistance. And building on this background, the primary research question the Beroit study aims to address is whether prepubertal children are metabolically comparable to well-trained adults, endurance athletes, and if this explains why they are less fatigable during high-intensity exercise than untrained adults. And this part, we can see the study design and the method. The first is participants. To test this, the researchers utilized the cross-sectional study design. The first part is participants. They recruited three distinct groups. The group 1 is 12 prepubertal children. Group 2 is 12 untrained adults. And the group 3 is 13 well-trained adults, athletes, endurance athletes. And during the test, all participants performed the Wingate aerobic test, which is a standard assignment for anaerobic power. And the variable study, the independent variable is the independent variable was the participant group, like children and trained adults, endurance athletes, and the dependent variables included performance metrics like peak power, mean power, and fatigue index, alongside the physiological markers like heart rate recovery, net oxygen uptake recovery, and blood lactate kinetics. And the next part, we can see the results. The first is absolute power and fatigue index. This part we can see the table. The results highlighted several crucial findings. As expected, the absolute peak power in children was significantly lower than in untrained adults and endurance athletes. However, the fatigue index for the children was the lowest among all groups, coming in lower than untrained adults and significantly lower than endurance athletes. And we can see the date. And the next is aerobic contribution and the recovery kinetics. The first, interestingly, the relative energy contribution derived from oxidative metabolism over the second half of Wingate test was similar in children and endurance athletes, and both were significantly greater than in untrained adults. And next, in the post exercise period, the recovery kinetics of net oxygen uptake, heart rate, and blood lactate in children and endurance athletes was significantly faster than those untrained adults. And we can see the line. And the next part is new scientific insights. This study provides major scientific insights. Prepubertal children are observed to be metabolically comparable to well-trained adults in endurance athletes. And this challenges the traditional view of children simply being miniature adults in sports science. Instead, it proves that their remarkable fatigue resistance is due to their ability to efficiently utilize oxidative metabolism and clear metabolic byproducts at a rate similar to adults who have undergone intensive endurance training. And the next is practical implication. These findings have visual practical implications for applied sports because children much energetic demands and much better with the aerobic pathway. Their physiology is ideal for exercise with varying oxygen demands, such as intensive intermittent exercise. So coaches should not apply adult style anaerobic or continuous fatigue protocols directly to children. Instead, training should leverage their repeat recovery and robust their anaerobic energy systems. And the last part is crucial reflection. Finally, let's crucially reflect on this study. There are some strengths and limitations. The first is strengths. A major strength is the study design, which cleverly isolates the physiological variables by comparing children to two extremes: untrained adults and highly trained endurance athletes. And the limitation of this study, the sample size was quite small, with only 12 or 13 participants per group. And furthermore, the study relies on the Wingate test, which is a cycling exercise. While this is excellent for measuring pure metabolic output, but we must be careful when applying these findings to weight-bearing sports like running, where children are known to have a lower running economy due to biomechanical factors and muscle core contributions. So this is my presenting. Thank you, everyone.